What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be doing a lot of technical analysis about where I see Tesla going for tomorrow, as we do have a very important day coming ahead of us, and we do have to be very prepared for what on earth is about to come. I'm also going to talk about what's going on with the overall stock market and what you should be expecting for the CPI data that's coming out tomorrow, guys. This is going to be very important for the US and for the stock market, so you guys need to be very informed about what's about to play out. I'm going to talk about the latest headlines coming out for Tesla, as we do have something involving the Elon Musk email and something President Joe Biden said not too long ago, which does make me a little bit more optimistic, but it is kind of sad that it took this long for the guy to finally say something. I'm going to end the video then by talking about what Elon Musk put on his Twitter page, which is very important for the future of Tesla. Now, before I say anything about Elon Musk's tweets, before I say anything about what on earth is going on with Tesla stock and what you should be expecting for the technical analysis and the price action, I do have to mention some very important things first. First off, I'm not a financial planner, so please do not take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me and benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you do send for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're not only going to qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500, but you're also going to have the opportunity to win up to $200,000, as Moomoo is giving away $200,000 for the new year. So if you want that chance, guys, check it out if you guys want. And with that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, guys, we had a pretty good day today. It basically ended up playing out very similarly to what I told you guys yesterday. I told you guys that we were showing lots of signs of strength and we're probably going to run up today. I told you guys I saw us closing at around the $930 range. We ended up closing at 932, up 1.08%. However, guys, this is the point where my predictions are going to come to a halt. And I know that sounds a little bit frustrating, but I have to talk to you guys about why. And that's because right now we're kind of flipping a coin. We don't know what's going to happen to Tesla after what's coming up tomorrow, because the entire market is kind of in the grasp of this situation. Remember, guys, tomorrow is going to be a very important day. We have CPI data coming out for it's going to be coming out tomorrow, February 10th, 2022, for the month of January. So even though the market had a good rally today, the question is this a trap set by these institutions to get the market to drop, or maybe they foresee the market dropping, or are we about to explode to the absolute moon? So when it comes to the answer of that question, guys, I can't promise anything. It's very hard for me to make a good prediction because it's dependent on CPI data. So this basically is one of the measures that we use to basically give people a good outlook on what inflation is looking like. So many of the estimates are saying it's probably going to be around 7%. Now, here's the thing about that. If inflation, right? If it's at 7% and we anticipated it, it's not going to hurt the market too much. But if it's a little bit below it, if it's at like 6.9%, 6.8%, somewhere within that range, it's going to be a pretty good sign, right? And we're probably going to actually run to the upside. But if it's really bad, guys, if it's around 7.2%, 7.3%, 7.4%, then the market could take a very big hit. And that's the reason why I informed you guys yesterday where this blue line is. This is where our very strong support is at 823. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go that low. I just want to prepare you guys. So I don't truly know what's going to happen. Now, we're in a very interesting situation. It could really go either way for Tesla, but I do want to talk about what happened today and what we should be looking out for the future. So there are very important scenarios we have to look like. So the first thing is we ran up to about $946. We dropped to 922. We pretty much trade sideways, but we were on this small upward trend just like this, and we were respecting the lower bound of the moving averages. So we looked pretty well today, up 1.08%. Let's bring up some other technical indicators real quick. Looking at the MACD, we're kind of trading sideways throughout the day, but we were on that upward trend. We were seeing a lot of bullish momentum. We did end up testing a pretty higher level compared to yesterday, which is the $940 range of resistance. But RSI is showing a little bit more strength compared to before, which looks pretty good right now. But the problem is these indicators are not going to be too perfect. And here's the reason why I'm saying that, because we don't know what's going to come tomorrow, guys. If the data is really bad, it could really cause us to kind of flip. And I just don't know how it's going to play out, right? We don't truly know that. So we have to wait for it to really play out. And the thing is, the market is very capricious. We don't know how the market's going to respond either. So looking at the SPY had a pretty good run today. We were seeing some very, very good candles to the upside. I mean, we had this massive, massive, massive run to the upside, but there is this kind of like gap, I think, right here. I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me. This is a big gap that's right here for the SPY. And I could bring up the 5-day chart to make it a little bit more clear. We do have that big gap. So some people could argue that the gap has to be filled, which may be an indicator that the SPY may drop a little bit, soon. But looking at the fear and greed index, look, right now we moved a little bit more to the greedy side. So we're looking a little bit better compared to before, but we are still kind of fearful, right? So the thing about the market is there is uncertainty about what's going to play out for the future, but the VIX is still indicating that we're not necessarily in a crash. It is still dropping, guys. It's dropping, which is a pretty good sign. It might rise a little bit tomorrow depending on the data, but it's not looking too bad, guys. So, anyways, AMC, GME, a lot of stocks had some very, very big runs today, and Tesla as well. But looking at Tesla, guys, we are showing signs that we want to run up, and it really is showing us that we're going to be testing these upper bounds or these upper trend lines in the future. So let me bring up the 3 month chart and show you guys the overall pattern. So some people are arguing that we have the inverse head and shoulders that formed. So that's an indicator that we should run to the upside. And I'm still going to hold that thesis. I think we should be running up. However, it's very hard for me to promise that or like say that the probability is extremely high because it depends on the CPI data. It really does, guys. It really depends on what is actually going to be coming out, what's reported, and that's the important thing that I just cannot stress enough. So for what I think is going to play out tomorrow is I think we're going to run a little bit to the upside. We should be testing the resistance around the $935 level. But if the data is bad, and I have a feeling, guys, it's not going to be too great, the market might tank a little bit. It may not be as bad as some people are anticipating. So we could still end up treating this trend line as support. So we could go maybe to the $910 level tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if we did dip a little bit. So I do expect more of a red day tomorrow, but I'm not too scared because of the fact that we're showing lots of momentum and we really want to run to the upside. So like I said before, we should see a bit of a recovery for the month of February, but for the short term, which is just tomorrow, based off CPI data, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a red day for the entire market. So I just want to prepare you guys for that. If it's really, really bad, guys, if the numbers are really bad, we do have this gap fill all the way down here to the 850s. So I know it's scary. I know it may hurt some of you guys, but I just want to prepare you for that in case the data is, it ends up coming out and it's a little bit more concerning, causing the Fed to respond in a more hawkish manner. Now, going into the news part, guys, we have this right here. According to Gadget's NDTV, a Tesla crash emails show Elon Musk's empathy for a grieving father. So basically, there was a father who had a teen, I believe, and they ended up passing away in a Tesla crash. And as a response, Elon Musk personally emailed the father and he just basically empathized with them. And his empathy basically was about something that happened to his son, right? His son also passed away. Very, very sad. And it just shows that, look, he does still have a heart, guys. Elon Musk has a heart. He was willing to talk to the father directly. He empathized with him. He helped him feel better. And it just shows the type of person that he is capable of being, guys. So you're going to hear all these things about Elon Musk on the news, on the media. Don't just believe everything you hear. But I will say one thing. That's a very, very bold move he made. I know it's very sad, and it's making me sad and stuttery right now too. But I'm just putting it out there, guys. Elon Musk did something very, very bold. It was all over the news, and I just want to give him a huge shout out for that. Now, the other piece of news that the news is finally just barely starting to report. If you watched my channel yesterday, you would have seen this like a few hours after it happened. But President Joe Biden, he finally has acknowledged Tesla's EV leadership, its dominance after a year of silence. So this article is saying the truth. He did finally at least acknowledge them as the number one EV company in America, and they're doing very, very well. Now, I do find it pretty sad that it took super, super long, like I said before, but at least he finally gave them some credit and at least said something. So at least something came out, so that's a pretty good sign. And the last thing I want to talk about is this right here. Elon Musk stated right over here that the Model X is an extremely difficult car to build, most complex passenger car ever. Limiting factors is interior trim. So he is talking about the fact that Tesla does have some difficulties ahead when it comes to producing their Model X. But that's not necessarily a bad sign because if you look at their numbers, guys, they sold a ton of them, right? They've sold tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of them in their lifetime. So that's super, super amazing because of the fact that they're recovering from these issues and they are not letting it get in their way. That just shows how resilient the company is. It shows how strong they are and how much better the numbers are going to be in the future. So for the short term, guys, I truly don't know what's going to happen. I have to be really honest with you guys. I don't know what inflationary data is going to show for January 2022. I don't know what the Fed is going to do in response to what the numbers may be. At least, like for the short term, I don't know really how it's going to play out. But I will tell you one thing, and that is regardless of what happens to Tesla, whether we keep rallying or we end up dropping and filling the gap, I'm not scared. I'm not worried because I know we're going to recover relatively quickly, and I know we haven't necessarily, seen the end of this company. The fundamentals are there. It's a very, very strong company. So just look at the fundamentals if you are in doubt, and just do not worry, guys. Remain calm, cool, and collected, and look at this as a blessing. Because if it does end up dipping, we have the opportunity to buy more for a very, very good discounted price. And if it doesn't dip, then that's also good news because it can actually help you in any other way. If you have some other play out there, if you have a trade, if you have options, I mean, it helps you to some degree, right? So that's my point, guys. You need to be optimistic. You don't need to worry. Don't worry about what happens tomorrow, guys. It's just one day. Tesla has the whole year to recover. It has many years ahead, and this is not the end. That's what I have for this one. I thank each and every one of you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.